So last week, a Nebraska mother pleaded guilty to helping her 17-year-old daughter get abortion pills to kill her 27-week-old grandchild. Let me say that again because it's a lot of pieces. Abortion pills, which are prevalent, you can order them via mail. This grandma of a preborn child ordered for her 17-year-old daughter abortion pills, which are supposed to be used in the first trimester to kill ultimately and force a miscarriage on a baby that was 27 weeks old. The grandmother went and buried the baby's body in a nearby field. So this is a clear case of infanticide, and even in the state of Nebraska, it's a case of, in addition, illegal abortion because you're not supposed to use the abortion pills after the first trimester. What's absolutely horrible is once the police were tipped off and went to the field to retrieve the body, they found out that the baby's body had evidence of thermal injuries, meaning this grandmother and the mother basically burnt this baby, and the baby could have been burnt alive. So an absolutely horrific story. But what I wanted to draw attention to is how media is responding to the story. So there is a group called NowThis News. You've probably heard of them. And they're a mega set of Instagram accounts and social media accounts. So they're basically trying to be the leading voice of news for Gen Zers and millennials. And I want to pull up how they responded because this just shows the extreme bias in media. So the first slide here, as you can see, it says a Nebraska mother pleaded guilty to giving her daughter abortion pills and now faces up to 2 years in prison. So there's nothing about what happened to the baby here. It's all about, this poor mother this grandmother is facing 2 years in prison. Her daughter pleaded guilty in May and faces similar charges. And then it shows a picture of the abortion pill. No picture of the baby, no picture of the baby the size of the baby that they killed. It's just showing some, innocuous looking pills, right? Then it says, in April, before Roe v. Wade was overturned, Jessica Burgess gave her daughter Celeste abortion pills that she had ordered online, aborted an approximately 29-week-old fetus. The pair then burned the remains and buried them in a field. This is what NowThis News has to say about this. They write, for many advocates of reproductive rights, the Burgess case has served as an example of a post-obs reality in which access to abortion care is increasingly restricted. This story also raises concerns about digital privacy and the ways in which individuals' social media communication can be used against them by anti-abortion prosecutors. Swipe right to learn more. Okay, this entire caption is about this poor grandma and this poor mother who are being attacked by pro-life advocates who would dare to criminalize killing that baby at 29 weeks old. There's zero empathy for the baby. There's zero recognition that this was a baby that they slaughtered. Instead, it's talking about how access to abortion care is increasingly restricted. Basically, NowThis News is saying it's bad. It's bad that these two people, this grandma and this mother conspiring to kill this tiny child, didn't get access to a late-term abortionist that would have just suctioned to death or dismembered to death that baby. They are so pro-abortion, they're not even hiding it. And then, that they care about the digital privacy of their social media accounts when they are together conspiring to murder this baby, and they did murder this baby. And now that any justice might be served, a 2-year prison sentence is tiny. It's a tiny prison sentence for the taking of the life of an innocent baby. And yet this is what they're upset about. So the case is terribly tragic, but the reporting on it is absolutely outrageous. I want to look at the comments though here because there were some really interesting comments. So if you scroll down, you see people saying stuff like this. Okay, so here's a comment from Jasmine. Yikes, I truly don't know how to feel about this and would like to others' input. I'm pro-choice, always have been, but the baby being 28 weeks old, that's right around 7 months, when babies can be delivered anywhere between 7 to 9 months. I feel like this is quite late to be having an abortion. Okay, so even the most, staunch, I've always been pro-choice, but what do you guys think? This seems a little extreme. Yeah, because it is extreme. It's absolutely horrible. This is clearly a baby. Somebody else said, I'm pro-choice as FUCK, but she killed a whole baby. She deserves jail time. So even the pro-choice side is commenting on this pro-abortion slant from NowThis saying, this is ridiculous. She deserves to go to jail. Another one says, so she delivered the fetus and buried it, which is the actual crime they're being charged with. The law at that time allowed abortions up to 12 weeks. She was 29 weeks. Ugh, this is a sad situation all the way around. Another person, they burned the body, and how are we missing that part? What kind of humans have we become? Are we really desensitized with killing a baby? That is murder by 29 weeks. That's a whole human effing being. That's not like aborting at 5 or 7 weeks. So the comment section, remarkably, because NowThis News is like the most lefty of the lefties, is united largely in saying, this is insane. Why are you defending this? And this is what you see, right? So anytime you see in media a story that shows in any way the humanity of the baby. And in this case, they're talking about a 29-week-old, they say fetus, and they're talking about the baby. They have to report the facts. The baby was burned, the baby was buried, the baby was, killed through abortion. And so when you share those facts with normal people who aren't insane pro-abortion zealots, you're going to see people getting concerned and people getting upset and people thinking this is not a good idea. So this gives me, in a way, hope for the work that we're doing to try to change minds and hearts, because people are, I think, more willing to see the truth than we realize when it's just given to them, even when it's covered up with bias from NowThis News.